When it comes to dressing our body, I'm a huge advocate for appreciating our body as it is and building a healthy relationship with our bodies, but dressing them in order to flatter our figures. As we talked in my last video, our eye do not care at all about the number on the scales or the sizing of our clothing pieces. Our eye makes a judgment based on the form, on the difference that it sees. And therefore, by creating that balance between our bodies and our clothing pieces or details in them, we can flatter our figures today. So in my last video, I talked more about general principles and general rules that tend to flatter many different body shapes. And today I want to dive into small, very specific details that might change up the way you look because of the difference they create. Let's start. The thin straps that are really in the season are great for the ones who have very, beautiful, a little bit even bony structure, and might really spice up your look, but they are not for everybody. If you have wider shoulders, fuller arms, or a bigger bust, thin straps tend to emphasize the upper part of your body. Therefore, if you are self-conscious about any of those body parts, swap a thin strap top to a wider strap top in order to create more balanced look. The back pockets on shorts, jeans, trousers, skirts, they have a major impact on how our bum looks. If you want to improve your backside view, here is a quick formula. A smaller pocket will create visually bigger bum effect, where bigger pockets will make your bum appear visually smaller. So, in case you want to create a more rounded effect for your bum, choose smaller pockets that are placed higher up. And in case you want an opposite effect and make your bum appear smaller, then opt for bigger pockets that are placed somewhere in the mid of your backside view. Never go for lower placed pockets because they always tend to create a sagging butt effect that is not flattering in any case. Our eyes travel along the hemline or along any harsh colored line on our figures. Therefore, if you want to create a leaner, longer leg effect, then just pull the sides of your bikini bottom part a little bit higher up on your hip bone. In this way, you will create a flattering arch that not only elongates and makes the body look leaner, but also you will downplay the side bits of your tummy. So extended shoulder line switches up the proportions of whole body. When you are wearing a top that actually brings emphasis on your shoulder line, in comparison, your body appears leaner and slimmer, which is great. However, if you are on a smaller scale, if you are shorter in height or you have fuller bust, you have to be a little bit careful with padded shoulder tops. But there is a solution that I am actually wearing right now. The top that does not have a padded shoulder, but it has a double fabric on the shoulder line. And in this way, it creates a very sharp and clean cut line that actually is flattering and creating a very nice proportions. So when it comes to choosing between strappy top or a sleeveless top that has extended shoulder line, I always opt for this one because this kind of top just makes my body look in proportion, and I don't know, I just feel really great wearing this sort of tops. In order to flatter your body, choose a bag that is in proportion to your body. Avoid giant slouchy bags that don't keep their structure or on the opposite, very tiny little novelty bags that looks out of proportion on nearly everyone. So for example, if you are on a bigger scale, then opt for a bigger bag. If you are on a smaller scale and you are short in height, then a smaller scale bag will complement your proportions better. So for a balanced, streamlined appearance, choose a mid-sized bag that holds its structure to create that harmony and chic look for everyday use. Now, the general rule of thumb is that the thicker the legs, the bigger the shoe should be, because in comparison that creates a more harmonious look. But of course there are plenty elements to pay attention to. However, I find that if you have a thicker ankle and thicker thigh, it is really very flattering option to go for a shapelier and thicker heel, because then in comparison it creates once again a balanced look between the shoe, the heel of your shoe, and your thigh or ankle. Of course, from the rule of the proportions, you might think about additional details, like for example the straps on your shoes. So if you have wider feet, you probably do want to go for a very thin straps on the feet area. So the key here is really to pay attention to those small details and aim for balanced proportions. Once again, the rule of thumb is to choose the belt, the width of the belt, in proportion to scale of your body. So if you are on a larger scale, then opt for a belt that is thicker, probably between 3 to 5 centimeters. If you are on the smaller scale, then opt for a thinner and more delicate belt. Now, if you have a fuller bust, it is also important to pay attention to the length or the space between your waistline and your bust, in order to have enough space to create a balanced proportions. When it comes to flattering our bodies, remember that it's never about the numbers or sizing or even hiding your body, but rather thinking about the proportions and the ways how we can complement our bodies and create that harmonious look. So that actually sums up today's video. I really hope that this video was interesting for you. I also want to create one more additional video on this kind of similar topic about the proportions and how we can make the proportions to favor our bodies. Thank you so much for your time. I hope that you are enjoying this summer. Please allow all the notifications on this channel in order I can reach out to you when I am creating a new episode or I am going live. Thank you so much and see you next time very soon. Goodbye. Goodbye.